Manchester United. I bet Phil Neville wanted to stay. I bet Nicky Butt wanted to stay. I bet Jesse Lingard wanted to stay. Well, Manchester United. I mean, bloody hell, who wants to go and play for West Ham when they could be playing centre back for Man United? The reality is he's not good enough. I said this. It's not about. This is what I love about Ten Hag. It's not about what Harry Maguire wants or Fred wants or Donny van der Beek wants. Of course they want to play for Manchester United. I couldn't give a shit about that. It's about what Ten Hag wants. And this is what needed to change at this football club. For too long, we've listened to what the player wants. I don't want to go. I want to stay here and fight for my place. Hello, I'm the manager. I don't care if you want to come to training in a Barbie outfit. You're not. And you're not playing for this team. I'm in charge. Guess what it says on my door? Eric. No, manager. It says manager. I'm in charge. I don't care whether you want to stay. This is an elite football club. I guarantee you most of the Preston squad would like to play here, but they're not going to because they're not good enough. I don't care whether you want to stay. I don't care whether you think you're good enough. I don't. You're for sale. Bye. And that's what a manager should be allowed to do. Finally, at this football club, we're letting a manager manage. We are not tying his hands behind his back. And you know what? If you don't like Ten Hag or you want to get on Ten Hag's back this season, go ahead. Because we've finally got a manager that's being allowed to manage. I think for too long, you'd look at Mourinho, you'd look at Van Gaal, you'd even look at Ollie and go, all right, they're not good enough. But it's a tough job when you've got that board ahead of you. But finally, I think Ten Hag, he's removed Ronaldo, controversial. He's removed De Gea, controversial. He's got rid of Maguire, not easy. In 12 months, he's made 3 massive calls, you know, and look at what he's done. When it's here we go or official, I will do a video on Maguire because I've done it on other people. No, I don't do it. They're reporting. This Rasmus Hojlund injury thing. Can I just say about this while we're talking positives? Rasmus Hojlund injury concern that came out last night, and I know Faz spoke about it, and I know there's a lot of people talking about it this morning, but their information is inaccurate. This is absolutely, as I was saying before, hotter than the sun. It's A-star information in relation to Hojlund. They are his injury where he can't play twice a week, and they found further stuff after the medical. It's bollocks. It's complete bollocks. The truth of the matter is he has a little concern where Manchester United want to be extra careful with it. His injury that he has is not as bad as being reported. It's just about making sure that when he starts playing, he can play regularly and at the intensity that Ten Hag wants. So ultimately, I don't think we will probably see Rasmus playing for Man United maybe until game 3 or 4. So, I mean, considering the Forest game is game 3 and that's about 2 weeks away, I think we'll probably see him for Arsenal. About the Mason Greenwood saga. Now, they quote a source, of course, and effectively what they're saying is that it's basically the same as before. And I'm only reporting the news here, so don't have a pop at me. So I'm only reporting the news here. And what they're basically saying is, I've took the key quotes, and now it's from The Sun. It's not from Neil Custis either, so I don't rate these sources at all. But people will believe a paper and a story if it fits their agenda. But I'm just going to say this. Basically, the key points from this article is that Mason Greenwood is desperate to get back playing and start playing football again. Manchester United are at the final stages of making their decision. They're looking at a buddy system because the manager and the players want him back and want to protect him. I think it's a dangerous article for a start. And I think anybody, no matter what side of the fence you sit on, would say that that's a really inflammatory article, and what a surprise it's coming from The Sun. Because their source is one person, and yet, for me, it's poor journalism, because they've got one source that's talking about 6 or 7 different things that they wouldn't know about. So it's somebody who knows that Greenwood's desperate to come back, but it's also somebody that knows that Man United are at the final stages, and it's also somebody who knows that the players and Ten Hag want him back. So that's 4 different sources, but you've got one. So there's an element of bullshit in there for me. To me, it sounds like it's coming from Greenwood's camp. That does, because the desperation to come back and play, obviously, is Greenwood's camp. Are we in the final stages? Well, we have to be. There has to be a decision. Is there a buddy system in place? Well, I would imagine there probably is, because that's just common sense. Are all the players and the manager desperate to have him back? I can't. Fantastic, David. So the latest on Paward is that he is the hot favourite for Manchester United to sign as a defender. So forget Tapsoba, forget Tadibi. It's looking like it's going to be Benjamin Paward. United are considering a move for Bayern Munich's Paward after, of course, the agreeing to sell Harry Maguire. But coming in from Plettigol, who is German-based, he's saying the talks for Benjamin Paward are ongoing and positive. The price is around 26 million quid. Man United favourites to sign Paward. The player can really imagine himself at Manchester United with Ten Hag. Thomas Tuchel actually wants to keep him, but apparently Paward wants to leave. I mean, I don't know. We'll talk about Paward in a moment, but can we talk about the positive here? The positive of Paward. Positive Paward, Pavlova. I love Pavlova. Oh, you know Pavlova. But anyway, I haven't had one for ages. Anyway, the reality here is that this is Erik Ten Hag again getting a player from a decent club who wants to come and play for him. It's the summer of Ten Hag. He's got more pull than a magnet. It's unbelievable. We would never be able to do these sort of things with Ollie in charge, maybe not even Van Gaal in charge. It's incredible, the pull of Erik Ten Hag. And Tuchel wants to keep him, and he's going, I want to go. So it's great. Now, the interesting thing to bed, and we'll be out for 2 months, as Jack. Let's have a look at this medical stuff for Harry Maguire then. Now, Fabrizio Romano did say that Here We Go is coming very soon. Let's remind ourselves about what Here We Go is. Here We Go is when the deal's done with the club, which it is, and the personal terms are done with the player, which is what we're waiting for. You don't get a Here We Go for a medical. You don't get a Here We Go for holding up the shirts. So we could end up with a medical for Ten Hag, for Maguire tomorrow. We could end up with a Here We Go anytime in the next 12 hours. It could be tonight, it could be tomorrow morning, but I'm expecting it very, very soon. I realise it's best for him to go. And I think Scott McTominay needs that push as well, because I think if he said, I want to go, United would let him go. But what I was told this morning is, and I've not been told anything different, that despite the James Ward-Prowse deal, they are still looking at Scott McTominay, because that's what West Ham are doing apparently. So let's wait and see. If McTominay ends up staying, and Ricky was messaging me about this today, because he likes McTominay, and I just said, Ricky, at the end of the day, we will never get offered £30 million for Scott McTominay again. And therefore, we've made a bloody big mistake by not taking the money. Because I don't know how he's worth 30 million anyway. I've still not heard from anybody that can justify £30 million for Scott McTominay. Based on what? What has he done in a United shirt to be worth that? I don't even know. But if we reject that, which we have, and we don't sell him, in a year's time, how's his value is only going to go down? Because it's going to be another year of hardly playing. And when he does play, not very good. So I don't know. And look, I'm not taking away the fact that he's a useful utility player, and maybe that's what Ten Hag's thinking about. But there's an upgrade there. If you sell, look what's happened with Maguire, right? You sell Maguire for 30 million at 30 years of age. You buy Paward for 26 million at 27. He's better than Maguire. He's cheaper than Maguire, and he's younger than Maguire. So you've just done a brilliant deal. You're telling me if we'd accepted £30 million for Scott McTominay and bought Tyler Adams for 20 million, we've not just upgraded massively and saved money and got somebody younger?